Hello and welcome to the Sheep Seats. I am your host, Matthew, aka Sheep, aka Dark Sheep, aka sad that the regular MLB season is over. We are we are going to add a guest here today. The Miami Nez, we're gonna start calling you Nez. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't think that I'm the longest running guest anymore. I think I might be bumped down on that list. I'm not sure if anybody's keeping track, but I always appreciate coming on here, talking ball with you, and this is gonna be fun. I'm really excited for this contest. I mean, the regular season really came down to the wire there. I mean, that was part of the problem. Well, not problem, but part of the lot of the context involved with the pennant is like who's even in the picture. But now we got it, and it's time to crack down and get this thing filled. I'm excited.
Yes. Quick bit of housekeeping. Got to congratulate you though for the live ticket in the dog bowl. That's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That might be the only win for me this NFL season, but hey, it's a big one. So we'll take it. I appreciate it, man.
The wins that you're putting together, you got the ring and you got the live final. I mean, you get like the prestige awards without the high payout. So you got to go win the live contest.
Exactly. It's all glory. No, not so much cash, but we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that in Miami.
Yes.
So yeah, no, thank you. I'm very excited for that.
Also need to shout out my wife who ran her 7th marathon today.
Wow.
So
she's ran 7.
Yes,
total?
she's ran 7 marathons.
Wow.
She does one a year. So
I mean, that is so impressive to me as somebody that was like at one point trying to run a marathon and realized that like I'm just like not meant to run 20 plus miles. I mean, salute, hats off to her.
Yes.
That's so awesome. That's so hard.
Yes, I made it up to a half in my lifetime, but that was like 10,000 beers ago.
That's a good way to put it.
And also shout out to Chris G, one of the other guys over in the Deposit Kingdom who punched his ticket to Miami. And I have to admit to something here that I gave the fantasy football counselor money.
What do you mean? Oh my gosh. Oh my god, that is amazing.
He's got his little logo here.
Logo on the side. Oh.
I couldn't resist.
Dude, that is fantastic.
He may be a terrible person and a loudmouth on all social media platforms, but he made my merch better than I could. So I'm a proud owner of a No Sheep.
I would totally ironically buy a fantasy football counselor shirt if there was something that spoke to me like that. I mean, that's worth every penny.
All right, but let's move on past my shame. Let's move on to
no shame.
Oh, took a week off here and I got my setups all wrong.
Had me confused. I was like,
there we go.
I thought I was on the wrong tab.
No, I was on the wrong tab. All right. So I have pulled up here before we jump in the postseason bracket. We came up to today, and there was still a fight up today for the AL Central division, or not Central, West. Sorry. So with Texas losing today, they lose on tiebreakers the division. So I don't know about you, how you've been drafting Houston. I started drafting them as if they were the bye team for a while, and then it looked like they might get out of the playoffs, and now they back are to the bye team. So
yeah, I'll be honest, man. I don't have a lot of Houston builds. I think I am like 27, 26 teams in, and Houston is not a major part of that portfolio for whatever reason. Obviously, they are a top 2 team and the reigning World Series champs, but something about the way that team is built and the way a lot of these teams are built, like none of like there's like 3 teams that feel fun to build. The rest is just like, well, like God, these pitchers, like I'm just hoping they can get me across the line. But Houston thus far hasn't been a major part of my portfolio. I will likely correct that leading up to Tuesday, but so far been a bit of a fade.
Okay. So yeah, I think they're a team that has the offense. They are missing out on the lights out pitching that they've had in their past runs.
Right.
We've seen holes in Verlander, Valdez, obviously. What's his name? He played so poorly this year that everybody's Christian Javier.
Yeah.
Everybody was ready for him to break out this year.
Mm-hmm.
He lost his pitches, and so yeah, they definitely don't have that staff that we know and love. But yeah, is there any team that you think can't win?
That cannot win?
Yeah.
I mean, other than the Marlins, like
Yeah.
I feel like the Marlins, like I really just don't like they're just happy to be there. But I will say though, I mean, they at least have like they're intriguing to build, but I can't see myself getting to more than like 2 builds of the Marlins. I mean, it's just kind of nice that like we have like well, I guess we don't even. So I was gonna say we have like Yuri Perez to draft, and I've been wanting to draft Yuri Perez for a while, but he's like on the IL, so I don't even know if he's gonna like when he's even eligible to return for the postseason. So definitely none of the Marlins for me, to be honest. And then after that, man, I will say like the Diamondbacks, Arizona. Okay. For me is just a team that I am not really getting to at all.
Yes, I have very little. We are jumping in here. We'll probably jump back and forth to that and sort of just draft some teams while we talk.
Sure. How many have you done, by the way?
I have done 30 drafts so far, and
nice.
Houston is my highest AL team.
You and Chip, and you guys,
yeah,
you guys are good at the game. So I clearly need to make some corrections there.
I think the Twins. Brandon is shouting out to not have a chance. I meant to look. I didn't have time. Like, where actually is their roster at right now? Like, who is healthy? I feel like I saw Jorge Polanco go out of a game the other day for something again. I don't even know who they have right now.
I'm a sick bastard, but I kind of like the Twins.
Okay, yeah, they have an awesome rotation. Well,
they're like one of the only teams with a real rotation. Like, there's very few teams that actually have a rotation. But I mean, like, it's so easy to say, like, well, it's the Twins, and yeah, they have a rotation on paper, but like when it comes, time to play the games, can they actually go out there and win? But I mean, their path to the ALCS, I think, is viable.
Yes.
I mean, they got a nice draw with the Blue Jays there. Houston is going to be tough, of course, but man, like, yeah, like it's the rotation for me that like has me like pretty excited. And they've got I like their bats a little bit. I really like Julian. I love Matt Wallner. Give me a little Kepler. Polanco, like that was like news to me that he got that. I saw that he wasn't starting, but yeah, it does appear that he was not in the lineup due to injury. So, classic Twins. And then I think we are due Royce back very soon.
Okay. Yeah. The other thing is they have a really good bullpen too.
Right.
Twins.
Yeah.
All right. So we got a usual start here. I'm gonna go spicy here, and we're gonna start with a Tampa.
Okay.
Build.
This is fun. I think if I was kind of pumping on Twitter, trying to like get like the newbies in, trying to like extend the outreach. So I guess like 80 to start, just to talk about this contest from a macro standpoint. Yes. We have the ADP stuff here, obviously. ADP like 100 1,000% just like really does not matter in any playoff best ball contest, especially here. You gonna just continue the Tampa train and just like make your mark?
So the other option is to mix in Philly here. Nobody took Nola or Bryce.
Yeah, what would be your first pick if you were gonna make this Tampa Philly? Like, would you?
I mean, it's got to be Bryce.
Okay, I agree.
Let's try it. Let's try to get this build because the guys ahead of us, there's a chance that one of these two Atlanta people pops into Philly based on ADP and how they drafted.
Mm-hmm. Chip should stay in his lane, but I think the fact that we can like Wheeler down there, we can definitely get Wheeler, and you can get Ranger as well in this rotation, and nobody really is going to take the Tampa Bay pitchers. They shouldn't.
Yeah, and I will say that I am taking Ty Walker over Suarez.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because I think Suarez could end up in the bullpen.
Interesting.
More likely if they need a lefty long guy.
That's a pretty good shout. I guess the only like cope with that is that a reliever can actually like be in your starting lineup in the finals. True. Maybe. I'm not saying that they can't. I mean, we saw it 2 years ago when teams were decimated and we didn't have a playoff best ball contest, but by looking at what would have happened, like relievers would have actually been higher scoring of pitching.
Yeah. And it could be Sanchez too. Yeah. He's definitely not going to be a starter.
Oh yeah.
He is pretty much off my list.
It's basically 4-man rotations in the postseason anyhow.
So we did get Brandy taken on us, which is annoying.
Super annoying.
I'm actually going to take Schwarber here for an outfielder. If you look at Tampa, they have a bunch of late infielders.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, some of my favorites.
Yandy and your guy Isaac, Paradis. I guess they have more outfielders than I thought.
Yeah, I'm just so I know Yandy and Isak for sure, but I don't know why I always felt like they had more infielders available to us.
This is going off the rails here. We got
sweet Jesus, man.
Somebody taking Trey. Yeah, this is an ADP.
Okay, so like, but like you're not like it's not the worst. I just think so whenever something like this happens, like we are kind of pot committed to the Phillies, and like for me this is like Eflin, and then I take like I'm okay with like taking like Bryson Stott, Realmuto, Bohm in these like name power doesn't really or Wheeler rather like
so what I'm going here with how we committed to Phillies with the two guys, like we missed on Trey, which is okay.
I'm Wheeler over Nola too, by the way. I mean, Nola has the ADP, but like
yes 100%. I've only taken Nola early as a signal because I know it's tempting with him there up at ADP that people are going to take him potentially that aren't really thinking that completely through.
It's like straight up just like the name brand is putting him ahead of Wheeler.
The ADP.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying the ADP is what it is because his name is Aaron Nola.
Yes. But to help prevent people from going into the Phillies, sometimes I take Nola. Like I've taken Nola first pick.
You kind of have to just play the game,
right? So here's my plan at this point. I'm going to pop off of Tampa. I think for now, I don't really love like forcing Zach Eflin. I got this ace of a wild card team, so he could be useful as just my fifth pitcher. And there is another team here in the AL that, Shriva takes Rushman there, but
this dude has no plan though. So
no. But Baltimore was the other team here. Yeah, Nola gets back to us here. Now as we take Nola, we have a really nice core. we have 3 good pitchers that are all going to be wild card pitchers.
Yeah. This is still a good start. I would I would have trouble going off of Tampa, even though you lost Randy and he's a huge piece. But
yeah,
I would still maybe do that. But and now that
and
the Gunner, like,
yeah.
Don't you miss the early drafts of these? I
Well,
mean, good Lord.
Yeah, I do, but I don't.
Right.
Because there's still one of these people in every draft, and there goes Nick. Okay.
Yeah, this is a pickle. Getting squeezed out of Phillies here.
All right, so we're going to take it. Yandy Diaz is still. We are going to stay on the train here.
Yeah.
Like you said, we have Real Moto, we have Bohm, we have Stott. All could be contributors in a playoff series or in a couple of series.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I guess there might be like, I know my buddy Dave is in here. Shout out Dave, and I'm not sure who else is in here that like is not familiar with the playoff format, but essentially like literally like all the money is in the finals, and you get advanced after each playoff round. You get your money back for advancing out of this group that we are drafting with. So drafting like the 3-hole is like in an attempt to, I don't know, piss off people in the draft room, or maybe just like brute force your way out of the first round is like meaningless, because this dude has no chance of winning any money in the finals. So it just really doesn't make sense. So you're much better off creating a super team for the finals and just creating like a 6-6 type, or 8-4, since there's 12 players drafted total of a World Series match. That's really just like what we're doing. We're just forecasting, guessing who we think is going to be in the World Series, and hoping we get there, and hoping we have the best team once we're there. That is the TLDR. Sorry, I just wanted to throw that in there real quick.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, and you know, Eflin's here. I think we're going to take Eflin with plans of filling in our hitters on these later guys on these 2 teams.
I like that. Like the pitcher scarcity for me is definitely like a major what's the word I'm looking for there? Priority. I definitely give pitcher like major priority when I do these drafts.
Yeah, and there was a while there that you could wait if you're like stacking Brewers. Those
right.
3 guys, like if you didn't have an NL team, but obviously they've started to jump up. Brad's going in on a Houston Milwaukee stack. Yeah, I think we're just gonna keep it simple here and take the slugging pull hitter.
Yeah, he's kind of a mystery. But I love him. I mean, all he does is just pull fly balls and line drives, and like, and no one, he doesn't care that he doesn't have elite EVs. He doesn't care.
It's absolutely crazy what they got out of Eflin compared to what anyone expected.
I know.
Yeah. So this is a great question. I've seen you ask this before. Why are the Orioles free? And I think it's because they don't have. They're really like even. Like there's not like, obviously they have the young stars, but it's not like those guys like one's a catcher, number 1, so he's just going to be restricted in playing time a bit, and the other is Gunnar Henderson, and like they don't have those guys are flashy. I don't want to say like they're boring or whatever, but they don't produce.
Dude, if you put pictures of Jordan Westberg and Colton Cowser, like, and Heston Kjerstad up, like, and showed them to me, I wouldn't be able to tell you who is who. Like, they're just like faceless, brandless guys outside of like Rutschman, Santander, and Gunnar. But they are like extremely fun to build around. They're just like going to be our like best kept secret, hopefully until Tuesday.
Yeah, I definitely don't dislike taking them. So we are hitting into a little bit of a outfielder hole.
Yeah.
I did grab Real Mutu there. Yeah, so basically, my strategy is to stay within two teams except for one player. I give myself one wild card star or stud to build in to try and get past that round. That's not like the purest, like best game theory, but it's sort of like increasing my floor a little bit overall on my portfolio.
Yeah, I mean, that guy you're theoretically taking isn't supposed to be scoring for you in the finals anyhow, since like in the finals it's one infielder, one outfielder, and two flex. So it's okay if you lose that one guy and
Yeah,
try to run pure.
And here's a key thing. Now, I just took one of these to bring up this point. I took George Springer here, and now that we have a set, we have a set set of teams in bracket. That's the word I'm looking for. Now that we have a set bracket, it's important to take those guys on the other side of the bracket from where you're taking your main stack.
Yeah.
So here I took my one playoff stud that could contribute in this first round, which is these two rounds, and also contribute to the team here in the ALCS. So I took George Springer. He's going to be leading off for Toronto. If they make it to the ALCS, he has the chance to contribute for 2 rounds. So
yeah, that's like one of the best parts about things finally being set in stone is we know who to pair these one-off guys with. This is definitely a tough one.
Yeah, I don't like any of these options, but we're going with Hitting Harold.
Yeah, might as well. I mean, like Tim or like Brandon Marsh, in my opinion, out of here. But you could actually, I don't know about you. Are you? I'm not like married to any sort of roster construction, but I would. I mean, here outfield is like a little thin, so I'd probably take another outfielder here. But I've done like 4-5-3, 5-4-3, etc. Plenty of times.
Yes, for sure. I don't. Mostly, the only thing I worry about is that I get 4 pitchers. After that, it can sort of go wherever I feel it needs to go. And definitely this one is thin at outfield. Julio Rodriguez is on the list. That's kind of sad. Yeah. So we're going to get a little crazy. We're going to do Brandon Marsh.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
As we're told not to take Brandon Marsh.
Well, I mean, he's a lefty, so I mean, yeah, he's platooned, but
yeah,
you gotta take what you can get, man. I mean, the thing, I think one of the mistakes I made last year was like very unfortunately being tied to like who I feel is a good player and who isn't. So rather than being like, oh, like just take whoever in this lineup, anything can happen in the postseason. I was like, oh, why do I want the bottom of like this order? Like these guys are worse. You know, I want the good players, and I was very concerned on having a roster that I could fill out in the final in the World Series, but giving myself like 3 or 4 extras to really make sure that I get there. And it didn't even matter because I didn't get there in the first place. But that was a lot to do with the Mets. But that was just something that I learned or took away from last year's drafting was I played it too safe. And not only did I not get and I didn't get anywhere by playing it safe anyhow. And so I'm not trying to get too tied to one team, and I'm not trying to do too many one-offs. Like I'll do like 3 max, absolute max 3. And that's only if I get like super sniped in these lobbies. Otherwise I'm not going out of my way to do that by any means. So I wanted to ask you, Sir Sheep, where are you at on the Braves? Are you taking them whenever you get this top 2 type of draft pick, or are you like fading them since everybody is clearly trying to build Braves every single draft?
So I have 1 out of 31 Braves teams.
I love that.
So I hate it, but I love it also.
I mean, the game theory is just like brilliant.
Yeah. So the whole idea comes down to is pretty much every draft there's always 2, usually 3 people taking the Braves. So you're like the range of outcomes where they just like fall off is pretty low. So like thinking that I'm like totally passing the field, because even if they lose a series, their first series, they're going to score a ton of points. So like I'm already fading, or like it's not like I'm fading the whole field in that case. Let's see, we're going to go. Oh wow, Kyle Tucker is over Jordan. That must have just changed. I am going to take my guy Mookie here.
Okay. Dodgers are very not, they don't feel so great to build around because of their pitching.
Yeah. So, and the thing is, I've seen like the rest of the lineup outside of Mookie and Freddie just sort of fall occasionally. And like 57 for Will Smith is way different. Like, let's look at Atlanta. Michael Harris is 19.
Right.
Marcell Ozuna, who is on nuts on fire, is 23. So like you and Luke here takes Freddie, and there's a chance we miss on Kershaw too. But after that point, you can build whatever Dodgers team you want.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about the Dodgers is outside of Freddie, like you mentioned, like they're so buried that nobody's really thinking about taking them. Obviously, like the tough part is the rotation. So of course it's Kershaw, and then after that, I'm assuming you're like Bobby Miller, and then
I'm
no,
I might be Bobby Miller number 1.
Oh, okay. I mean,
I will take Kershaw and I will take Lance Lynn, but if I don't get Bobby Miller, I feel kind of lost.
Yeah. What's his ADP? It's not like super high, right?
No.
Yeah.
43. It's not like he's being
forgotten. The thing that sucks is you just kind of have to play the ADP game, though. You know, like you're just like, yeah, you know, he's overvalued, but we're just trying to build the best team. Yeah, Bobby Miller's pretty sick. Nothing really left to say there. He's one of my favorite type of pitchers. Just flamethrowing.
Yeah. So
okay. Harper, interesting pick. This guy. Okay.
Yeah, definitely think that he's on. Doesn't really know what train he's on. Let's see. We're going. Let's do it. Let's get crazy.
You want to
build Tampa again?
Tampa part 2.
Yeah, because I don't think Carp here is going to take. He's going to take Max Fried. Who? When does he get back?
They said game 2.
Oh, okay. I was thinking he might miss.
Same.
Which is unfortunate for my Braves fade. I like every Braves pitcher that went down this last few weeks. I was like, yes, more. The sicko meme. Yes.
More. Ah, man, the Rays, dude, should like. I can't believe that they're still like one of the best teams, even with all these injuries that they've faced and other shit. It's just kind of crazy.
Yes, I mean that speaks to their depth
for sure.
Completely. And like even Taj Bradley, who you would have assumed they had to rely on this year with what happened, kind of stunk, and they didn't need him.
Is he back in the rotation? Like I am, like unfortunately not as plugged in on the nitty gritty as I wish.
I don't think so. Okay. I think he's made some starts, but I don't know exactly where that rotation is at.
Let's check out our handy dandy roster resource here. Yeah, he is supposedly in the rotation. Okay.
Yes, we're definitely still here. I'm gonna piggyback off Dave's question here, and that I know you don't like to talk too nicely about the Brewers, but
I don't have a lot of animosity toward the Brewers.
Okay, all right.
Now that Ryan Braun's gone, like they like, I don't care. It's like, you know, like obviously I don't like my division rivals, but it's the Cardinals and Cubs, like, and even the Reds, like public enemies, like 1A, B, and C. Brewers, like Brewers are like, I don't know, man.
They're just there.
They're kind of cool. I don't know. I kind of like the way they're put together.
Yes, yeah, but like, so it was sort of the period where Yelich was out with the back stuff, and they were still winning. That I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe they can put something together here.
Yeah.
So like, there's this, like, you know me, I'm pretty down on my teams and pretty negative, but there's this little bit of hope. We're gonna take JD Martinez here, get a stacked outfield.
Yeah, that's fun.
And maybe stop at 3 outfielders here.
Yeah, saying you're a pessimist, I think, is being nice.
Yes, right. But it was during that period that I was like, well, if they can do that and like put some offense together, obviously we know their top 3 can take on anybody if they have to.
Yeah, like you want to talk about a team
pitchers.
Yeah, like you want to talk about a team like the Twins that actually has a real rotation. I mean, that's them, and they've got some nice bats.
Yeah, it's yeah. I think that's exactly it. It's sort of like the small market, the underdogs. We both have that love in our heart for the other bad teams, or usually bad teams.
Yeah, I mean, I like whatever helps, like whatever outcome helps the Pirates like make better decisions in the future is like what I'm rooting for. Like if they see something that maybe encourages them to do the right thing and the smart thing in the future, that would be that would be great. But no, dude, I love the Brewers. Like Sal Frelick, like is probably one of my favorite. Like when I build Brewers, like I have to have Sal in there, have to have Slamtana in there, get a little lefty righty going on there. I mean, like the Brewers are extremely easy to build, and they have like really nice pieces.
Yeah,
the NL for me is just like it's so fun to build out these NL teams, and then on the AL side, that's when like shit gets kind of murky.
Yeah, you're sort of just for me, unless I start with Houston as my main stack, the AL sort of just like, well, I guess I'll take this one.
Yeah, it's weird. And then it's or it's like, okay, I guess I'll build out like the most nutted Orioles stack of all time because nobody takes them, and like they also have a rotation. But I don't know, like it's the thing that I don't want to like get too bro sciencey, but like the postseason is just such a different beast, and you know, I'm not putting a lot of weight into that. I'm just like drafting the best teams I can in different combinations. But I do think if you wanted to look at the Orioles and say they're too young, haven't done it before, you know, they're gonna choke. Like, you know what? Like, go ahead, fade them. Like, I think that's totally fair because I mean, in the postseason, man, anything goes. So that's my spiel. But I'm still taking the shiny toys over in Baltimore. They got the it factor.
Yeah, and I need to get more.
Oh gosh,
I get lost in the ADP for them. I will admit to that. All right, so we're hoping to go Yandy and Bobby Miller here.
Then there goes Yandy. Like, what is? Oh, okay, sorry.
Oh, I took him.
You did. I was like a little distracted because I put out a tweet that was like saying I'm live with you, and I accidentally quote tweeted Overzet for some reason in that tweet. So
hey,
like, it looks so it looks
you're
so
farming
random
for me. I appreciate it.
It looks so like so. I just had to like delete. I was like, oh god damn it. Okay, sorry. I'm back. I'm back on track here. This is a nice start.
Man, I had Bobby on my main roto team, and I sat him in Coors, and he just dominated.
Damn it!
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I can't blame you though. I mean, the Rockies got kind of hot at the end there.
I am super interested to see where Nolan Jones goes next year when we start drafting.
I feel like every time we kind of mention like, oh, I'm excited to see where X goes, etc. I think my initial inclination is always like he's going to go too low. Nolan Jones might go in like the 30s.
Yeah, I don't know. He could.
Because like the
But
outfield scarcity aspect and being in cores, like it might be kind of nutty.
yeah, and like Chip here, the Phillies are doing anything. That's exactly why I like them in this contest. I feel like they have that experience. You know, I don't
Right.
think I don't know if it's experience, not it's not like a combination of experience, star power. Like it's impossible to measure, but just the clutch, not clutch, or the low heartbeat of the guys that they have that can win for them.
Yeah, for sure. Like that's a very good clubhouse. They've been there before. It's a lot. It's there's multiple guys that have won World Series in that clubhouse, and like that organization. I just feel like top to bottom. Just I don't know, man. They just seem like they're just like very well prepared and very much like on top of their shit. And yeah, there's the Phillies feel really good building out in an NL stack.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
I'm gonna
and
try to join in the next lobby, by the way, and build out.
okay, all right. I will let you know. This one snap filled. I was trying to.
I know. I was thinking
I was
about
trying
it.
to message my buddy that he wanted to get in one, and
I
it
guess I had
snap
more
filled.
Astros than I thought, but still.
So this is going pretty well.
Yeah, this is nice.
I'll probably grab Lance Lynn here.
Yeah, like that's the one piece that just doesn't feel good, but you have to, right?
And like,
Is postseason Lance Lynn like a different beast, or?
I mean, it doesn't fix his pitches, so it's not like you're like picking Kershaw, who can go out there and still has the pitches. You're just worrying about his health. It's just Lance Lynn just doesn't have it.
It's tough. It's tough, man. But you kind of have to. Like, I don't. Have you done a lot of Ryan Pepois?
I have some.
Yeah,
Definitely gotten some. But the Dodgers are just going to end up going low innings on all of these guys.
most likely, right?
Lance Lynn, because he gets taken out of the game, but
he did. How did that go, Chip? Pretty well. So sometimes it makes sense to hedge your emotional investments.
And that's also my issue with the rest of the Dodgers hitters. Like the reason they're free is because they kind of all play.
Right.
I mean, it's actually similar to Tampa at this point. These guys are all mix and match sort of guys.
Yeah, it's just like hoping you take the right ones when it counts, because they do all play. So I guess if you are building out a large portfolio, you would probably want to keep that fairly balanced, just to give yourself multiple outs at the Dodgers here. But I'm pretty into the out man. I don't know.
Yeah, I was holding that as my follow up to the comment I was going to say, but James Outman, who we've talked about a lot over the course of the season, and he had his high highs and his low lows, but
yeah,
definitely a guy that he's batting like 7th in the lineup, 7th, 8th. So like it's not he's getting a prime position, but he's batting behind Jason Hayward and David Peralta. But I just think he's got more explosiveness in him.
Right. That's like where I'm at too. It's he has his ups and downs, but his ups are just so high, and he could potentially like be your leading hitter in a lineup. So we're very much into him as a lefty too in that platoon heavy lineup.
We are kind of tying ourselves or painting ourselves into a corner here with I think we either need to be uncomfortable about our pitchers or infielders on this team. And I think it's going to be pitchers. So we're going to draft this as if Lance Lynn has has a miracle comeback. And we are going to put together an infielder.
A one-off?
I'm looking at the one-offs. I'm scrolling the one-offs. But I think we're going to get really gross here.
I was going to say Chris Taylor. Oh, gee, I didn't see that. A neat.
And
that's a bruise. He's fine.
Take a guy who isn't good but is trusted.
He is trusted, like postseason Chris Taylor, man. That's like the ultimate bro science. Is postseason Chris Taylor just when he just comes out to play, and he's gonna have have like an 800 OPS in the postseason, and he's gonna be annoying, and he's gonna have a lot of clutch hits. It's gonna happen. Oh, he got hit by a pitch, so he's fine. Just in the knee.
Yeah, I mean he didn't look great, but they still kept playing him.
Of course. Deal. Yeah. He doesn't look great, but he'll look great in the postseason just because that's what happens. It's just these guys just lock in. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. So we're looking for a one-off. Probably not the NL because we have such a big LA stack.
Yeah.
But maybe we look for someone from these other teams on here, Toronto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Toronto should have. They've got Vlad or Bichette for you to choose from.
Are they still there? I think somebody did stack.
Oh, okay.
Toronto in this draft.
Then you may want to do like a Julienne, or maybe I don't know, unless you have just like no faith in the Twins.
I do. I'm more worried about his playing time. I'm actually going to get a little crazy here and take a Christian Walker.
Okay.
One off.
Other side, at least.
Other side, I was, talking about the Brewers and how I started to believe in them. I also really like this Arizona team. Like, okay. I have no reason to, other than the core, the Carroll,
you got
Walker, Marte, that those guys can all do damage. Tommy Pham is like a super interesting addition that really fit into that.
Yeah, he fit really well.
And then they have Gallen and Kelly to head up the starters. Like, their bullpen is atrocious. Like, Kelly is hit or miss, but Zach Gallen can be an ace.
That's a thing, yeah.
Like, mostly I can see them beating the Brewers in this series.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do that just to get kind of crazy there. I don't know if it is a smart move. But yeah, I don't know how we're going to try to do this, but
you want to go? I'm joining right now.
Let's go. All right.
Boom. Oh, no way. I missed it.
Holy cow.
That's crazy.
I don't recognize any of these names in here either.
It's totally fine.
People are starting to come in for the overlay here.
Yeah, this is a good sign and also like a distressing sign because now
we feel like 7% today and 8% from this morning.
It's on a pretty good pace. I don't know what it was last year at this time. I know somebody was like keeping track, but I think I think this will get over 90, maybe even fill. We'll see. I'm going to be drafting a lot of it.
Yeah. Did you get in a draft? Do you want to?
I am in one. Yeah, I can do a screen share if you want to bounce around.
Share your screen. Yeah. Sure. We can just do your draft and you can talk through.
Okay.
Your strategy, and I'll do this one on the side here.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do that. Do I have to shut? I don't.
Okay, there we go. All right, let's go. Okay, I'm in here with Brad and Chip and Sam Olson here. Some good guys. Hopefully, some stay in their laners. I've got no rankings in here. This is just like regular ADP.
Yes, same.
I thought you had rankings.
No.
It looked like you had like Freeman bumped up high. I don't know. I thought maybe I'm tripping.
All right. So you're also in with my guy Rip Sewell, who I was trying to get into the draft before.
What up, Rip? Welcome to the Thunderdome. All right, I want to try to build some Houston stuff here. Let's get this queued up. Let everybody know my plan. Brad, it's okay if you want to do Houston. Okay, I scared him out of it.
Good. Threaten him.
Yeah, no, I need to get more Houston. So let's just start off like everyone does with the old Kyle Tucker start here. Their rotation is also like kind of got some question marks scattered about. Like Urquidy just like threw a classic Urquidy start of like 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 Ks. But who's going to be that third and fourth starter? Is it Hunter Brown?
I don't know. I don't know if they have one. I think they have I think they have 2 guys that end up piggybacking for as a third starter.
Yeah, so all that leads me to is thinking that I would love Fromber and Verlander. I might have to might have to bite the bullet on one of these other guys if I don't end up with both of them. I like Sam Olsen here, just like, you know what, plant your flag, let everybody know you're going Rangers. No one's going to touch them. Like, that's totally fine. Totally fine. All right, let's see Smart here.
And I'm bad at it. I'm bad at not taking one of these top. This is how I end up with a ton of Houston, Dodgers, and Phillies. Is that I'm bad at scrolling down for that first pick.
Mm-hmm. I typically don't either, right? Like I'm usually doing what you said is starting off with one of the chalky teams, and then I'll scroll down like after round 5 to do something like the Orioles, which like I do quite a bit, and the Rangers. I do the Rangers quite a bit because normally people don't do what Sam Olsen did and take them like right off the rip. Normally you can like wait and get them, but you won't be able to do that maybe for much longer. Who knows? I'm surprised Mookie's still here.
Damn. The Rangers got relatively healthy. I mean, obviously they lost Max Scherzer, but their lineup got healthy, and they brought in Evan Carter, who was just like smashing in his debut.
I wish he was here.
Obviously, I don't expect him to do that going forward, but they laid some eggs. Oh, all right. So you're taking 2 bye teams.
Yeah, we're gonna need some extra help in this lineup, but we're just gonna like go with this for now and see, because normally I mean Mookie being there that late is just like kind of nuts. I know the whole ADP doesn't matter spiel that I said at the beginning, but if they're gonna give me Mookie at 16, I'm gonna take Mookie.
Yeah, and even if it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean it doesn't affect you.
Yeah. It might. We'll see. But no, this team definitely needs some one-offs. I think this might be a 2 one-off team. We'll see when we get to rounds 10, 11, and 12 how we're looking here. But okay, so I love this. This is fun. Brewers and Rangers, and like that's it. Oh, this dude doesn't like. I think he got mad at me.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, that he clearly is. I mean, I don't know, Sparty Party, if you're here. I'm not trying to throw shade, but you know, we're gonna get a lot of guys like these that end up taking 3 teams within their first 4 picks. Like, it's just what happens when more people start joining these things. Just gotta hope they don't take your guys.
Yeah, I agree with Chip on this. The 101 is the hardest pick. Like, either you're saying, let me try to get Atlanta. Let me try to get one of these guys to fall. Let me try to get Jordan to fall back to me. Let me take Kyle Tucker. Let me take Mookie. Like I said, I take an Aaron Nola first pick just as a flag plant. And you can do that definitely, like, even with that Texas build that Sam's doing on the end.
Yeah, no, you totally can. Like, if you know that that's a team that you want to build, like, just take them off the rip. Like, you're not really losing a lot in this, to be honest, just because it's so variant. that it's tough, like psychologically, to not want to not deviate from ADP, but it's just not that necessary. All right, so he takes Altuve too. Muncy or Bregman here. We're gonna go Muncy, and then hopefully Bobby Miller makes it back to me. But yeah, this is shaping up to be an ugly little rotation here. When you do your one-offs, are you ever doing one-off pitcher? I know I'm not, but I'm curious if you are.
Yeah.
You want to talk me into it? You
Yep.
are?
A lot more often when the Brewers pitchers were way down in ADP and not getting picked.
Yeah.
So I could add a Brandon Woodruff, like third to last pick.
Right. Yeah, he was going so cheap for a while. How about 88 ribbies for Jose Abreu?
Kind of out of nowhere, like unexpected. I know he had a hot streak there.
It was like all in the last month, I think.
Yeah, he had kind of earlier hot streak and then went cold a little bit, and came back and just sort of put up points. And he's definitely a guy that can just go off.
I know
in the playoffs.
Yeah. I don't know that I'm gonna. He should be no problem for me to grab on this team, but all right, we're gonna go Bobby Miller here. Now, when you were doing one-off pitcher, were you doing it in like a 4-pitcher build or like a 5-pitcher build? Because to me,
usually 5.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking here. Doing 2 buys is risky business. This feels extremely thin, but
yeah, but I mean, it could end up that the World Series is 2 buys, and like, how do we get there? I haven't fully figured out how to build that team correctly.
No, that's a good point. It is going to be really hard to get out of the first round with 2 teams like this. And
I mean, the scenario is that wild card games aren't high scoring, or it's a weird player that scores a lot in the wild card games. Oh, and then you have a long series. You'll have a full 5-game series. I mean,
yeah, no, that's definitely the thesis, right? Like if that you got to thread some needles, but that's like what it takes sometimes to take these down. I mean, it's way different beast with the NFL playoff contest, but I mean, you saw that happen last year with the 2-1 seats going. Like, who built the best team? It's tough, but now
I think I had one finals team in that contest, and it was just completely dead. Like,
it's like there was nothing there. Okay, we're gonna go Will Smith here. I have some one-offs in mind.
Okay.
But I think I'm thinking about your Arizona boys. Oh well, actually they play the Dodgers.
They will play the Dodgers, yeah.
But they're like the only ones that have like an ace available. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like
I mean, he'll still get 2 stars.
Yeah. Because like Phillies are like completely abandoned.
Like he could win his game against the Brewers and win a game against the Dodgers, and then even pitch some more in a game 5 against the Dodgers.
It's true. I mean, it's true. It's like it just doesn't have that feel good vibes to it. It might. So like the Rays are gone. Oh man, one-off pitcher.
It's tough now. With the people getting solidified in their positions, it's gotten tougher.
And this dude is just like all up in my stacks. All right, we're gonna forego it for now. We'll go Bregman. Like we got like obviously a sick outfield here. So and
yeah, I think like. Yeah, I don't even know that you need to take Abreu. Like,
yeah, I don't think I can like honestly afford to. You know, I don't know that I could, but and the Twins lineup too. I saw Joe Ryan's name. That's oof. I really put myself into a tough spot here.
Well, that guy behind you kind of did. I don't know if it was because you sniped him
Yeah,
or not.
I mean, Eflin to me feels like he's the number 2. I don't
For
know.
sure.
Is he okay? He's starting game 2.
For sure.
All right, come on down, Zach Eflin.
I'm glad that you got into that draft and I got into this draft.
Yeah.
I'm building a beautiful Phillies Baltimore team here.
Oh, I love doing the Philly Baltimore stuff, especially because if like the Delco World Series, like that area of that region of the country, if that was the World Series, that would just be a hilarious matchup there between Baltimore and Philly.
Yeah, see, I like the Arizona lineup better than that. And coming to Milwaukee is better than being in the closed roof Arizona stadium.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Okay, I got my last pick here. This is gonna be, but like, oh gosh, it definitely like it feels so bad not having 4 pitchers there. But we're gonna forego it and assume that like Will Smith and Bregman go nuts. All right, let's look at the Dodgers side of things here. What about Emmett Sheehan?
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with him.
We're doing Ryan Pepois.
Yeah, this would be a fun matchup. I definitely think.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's super thin. I mean, like I need Eflin to like throw a gem. That's really what it comes down to.
I think like of the teams this year, I'm pretty happy with any World Series matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like stories on all these teams. Like
Me too, to be honest. There's no like other. I will say like maybe like not the Braves. I mean, it's cool that they are like so badass,
yeah,
and like they slug 500 as a team, but
yeah,
everybody else, I am it's not like the end of the world if the Braves make it to the World Series because like they're clearly the best team, and I typically enjoy when the best teams in the
yeah,
sport make the finals. It gives it more legitimacy to me. I don't know. It's just like the way I feel. But
yeah.
all that to say, any of these teams making it would be badass. I'm my heaviest rooting interest is, of course, the Rangers because
Yeah.
I'm in proximity, and I really want to try to get to one of these games if they happen to get anywhere.
Yeah. I've already. I don't think I'm going to go to a wild card game. I'm pretty busy this week, but definitely need to.
Because they get both games, right? that's part
Yeah,
of it.
all the games are here. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
The one playoff game I went to was when the Brewers beat the Dodgers in at like one of the home games.
Do you remember what year that was?
No, I don't remember. It was it was the year Machado was there because we were just going nuts.
That's fantastic. I was at, I believe, the 2013 NLDS game with the Pirates against the Cardinals when they actually beat the Cardinals.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was a lot of fun. And then I was also at the 2015.
Oh no, 2015 crashed my computer. All right, we lost Nez. All right. Yeah, I think we are going to try to get in one more draft. He's back.
Sorry,
Runs on his computer. He doesn't know what they do.
I'm googling playoff matchups on the same tab that we're streaming on. My apologies. No, let's do one more. Let's maybe try to get a little.
All right, you're googling how to crash StreamYard.
Yeah.
Right.
How to hack into.
All right, we'll wait a minute here. I mean,
Oh, you want to try to get in this one together?
Yeah, should we try?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Okay, go.
We did it. We did it. Let's go. How many dudes does it take to join a playoff best ball draft together?
Great.
It was 2014. 2014 wild card when the Pirates got shoved by Madison Bumgarner. That was very much not fun.
Oh man.
That was
but where is he now?
That's
You're
right.
Still here enjoying baseball, and where is he?
Yeah.
He's at the rodeo or something.
He's a miserable guy. I don't care. Who's going to Miami in December? You tell me, Mr. Bumgarner.
All right. Just for the content, I'm going to try to build my second Braves team here.
Oh, okay. Let's go. Yeah, you got the 101. You might as well.
We're going to get Acuna. I know our friend Baseball Chris. We should figure out what we're actually going to call him. It feels weird calling him baseball. Says the guy who goes by sheep.
Yeah, but you're sheep. That is like so. But like baseball, like I feel like we got to just like call him like Chris. I call him like Chris Baseball. I think, but like it's so weird.
That's weird.
It's weird.
But yeah. I know he was the Strider 101. I don't hate it, but we're doing it. We're gonna build the second one. We're gonna see how this goes.
I think it kind of depends on maybe if you are like very much a forward thinker and you know who you're going to stack with, then by all means do Strider 101 because then that gives you more options after that. But yeah, I mean I understand, but and then I look at like what Acuna is as a fantasy asset, and it's just like
insane.
Yeah,
this is going to sound dumb when I say it, but
I doubt it.
I'm used to saying dumb things on this stream. I think he's going to be overvalued next year.
Oh, dude, yes.
Okay.
100%. Yes. I am like the biggest like Spencer Strider like poo-pooer.
I'm talking about Acuna.
Oh, you think Acuna's going to be overvalued? I thought you were talking about Strider. I think Strider's going to be overvalued.
The more accurate statement is that he's going to be properly valued.
Strider?
Acuna.
Yeah, so I know that you have the take about Acuna's K rates, right? Like that you're not buying into that, correct?
I questioned it. But recent the last or the second to last rates and barrels kind of talked about it, and basically
they think there's some sustainability behind it.
What he did. All right, we're gonna take Riley. We did miss out on Olsen, and how did that go? Okay, Lohman took Strider and Olsen, so we're only splitting with one. I'm gonna build the stack, and hope that I don't need a big pitcher score out of the team. Sorry, to get back to what I was saying, was what they said is basically he just started swinging at stuff that was borderline. And he stopped taking pitches. So it wasn't that he got better at, or he didn't increase his whiffs is what I mean to say. So like he just started swinging at pitches and making contact at pitches that could have been strikes.
Interesting. I mean, as somebody that has to watch Jack Sawinski play baseball, that is like the antithesis to Jack Sawinski. Jack Sawinski looks at everything unless it's like middle.
Right.
But he's kind of changed up his approach a little bit at the end of the season. But I will just I'm going to hold my thoughts on that. But Sawinski used to look at everything, and I mean everything, and it was just like the most annoying thing in the world. All right, we're just gonna chug along here and build out this Philly stuff.
It's actually more that I don't think he's going to steal as many bases next year at this point. I don't think that there is. I feel like part of it was that he wanted to do it.
Sure.
And
I think that's fair.
And
I mean,
like,
dude, he stole 70 bases. You're not going out like, I mean, like maybe in some circles, like it might feel like you shouldn't like say that, or like, why are you saying that? It's not like an insane take to think that he might not steal 73 bases next year. Like that's
exactly.
It's a ton, man. It's a ton of bases to steal. It might be part of the plan to like, I mean, they were fortunate with his health this year, but I mean, that is stressful on the body.
The comp they made was Trout. That like he just got hurt stealing bases, and maybe that's what it'll take for Acuna to stop at wanting to do it and get the accolades and all that stuff that motivates him as a person to be good. But yeah, I don't know. The stolen bases and I think there is like cutting your strikeout rate in half just seems impossible to continue.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, man, I don't think there's anything wrong with feeling that way. Now, my question is, well, I guess like the assumption that we are making in this conversation is that he is, of course, going to be the 101 next year.
Yes.
Right. Like without debate in the community. Now, I guess what the question is like, who's 102? And Judge almost certainly, right?
No, Tatis.
You think Tatis over Judge?
I don't know if I am going to need to take him over Judge. I don't know what ADP is going to shake out because actually Judge is. I'll let you make your pick, but Judge is sort of the other thing I've thinking about year to year, like the outlier season that Judge had 2 seasons ago. Like even if he stayed healthy this year, he wouldn't have replicated. Like, but he was like, it's tough because you're drafting the first person, and it's always on an outlier season from the year before. It's
right.
Not
yeah. It is kind of interesting, right?
You're drafting that ceiling that they showed. Dang, I was hoping to get Morton there, but
yes, I will say, and if you want to like talk out this pick here, Judge hit 30. He played 106 games, hit 37 homers. Like he would have paid off. Is the thing. Like, yeah, he wouldn't have replicated, but he probably would have paid off. Like,
true.
Which is like got me like very excited about Judge next year. I'm not so certain that he's going to be like a huge value or anything like that, but but hearing you say Tatis too probably makes sense. I haven't seen their end of like their final fantasy totals, but I'm sure I guess the stolen bases for Tatis probably end up making a pretty big difference.
And it comes down to also just having a full off season to shake everything out. Like he played fine this year. Like he had some really nice games. He had some cold streaks, but he showed that he can play defensively wherever you want him. Like
he's probably due for a little bit of a bounce back. I mean, didn't necessarily have a great season. Got slightly unlucky with the BABIP stuff. Walk rate was down a little bit, but yeah, I mean, his talent is unquestioned.
Yeah. Without Rizzo and Adden, I don't think we're getting the Martian back next year, though.
Yeah, that kind of stinks. I don't think they're going to force him to DH.
Yeah. I mean, they're not going to play Stanton in the field. I think he's not going anywhere.
Mookie might actually be up here in the top 3 too,
Okay. I'm having a real, I mean, we're sort of just drafting this contest and talking about other stuff, but whatever. I'm having a real hard time all right, shifting the bullpen.
The pitching stuff is just like impossible.
At this point,
like Bassett is probably your best pick.
I like Barrios better, I'll be honest.
Okay.
So I'm going to take Bo Bichette here and defer the decision to later. Oh, wait. I have to know that. Okay.
Defer the decision to right now.
Just based on, a few seconds from now, I'll have to make the decision. Based on ADP, I'm going to take Chris Bassett.
Yeah.
But this is shaping up to be a really weird team.
Yeah, Bassett's profile is like so like not sexy. I think is just like the best way to put it, but he's gets the job done, man.
Yeah.
I'm getting excited just like talking about future ADPs.
Yes, but okay, so Mookie has been always like my guy. Like I've always taken him and Kyle Tucker, like always over a bunch of other people in the first round the last couple of years. And Jordan, obviously, we had some of the weird health things this offseason with him. But yeah, I'm having a hard time convincing myself that I'm going to have a lot of Mookie next year because of the bump in price that he's going to get for probably a ceiling outcome of this season.
Right. I mean, yeah, he took a major step forward from last. I mean, he played 9 more games than he did last year, but just in every metric, like took a step forward. He walked 5% more. His BABIP, I guess, has always been kind of under 300, which is interesting. But he went 316 this year, slugged 580. That's his best since 2018. The ribbies were up. Like, yeah, you're paying for a ceiling, but I mean, it's hard to look at like his age too, and not like get the ageist vibes. Like, guys just age better.
Yeah.
He's only 31. Like in baseball, that's like not that's fine. 30, that's
agree,
kind of your prime.
That is part of it, though.
It does play a part for sure.
That I have a hard time seeing him replicate this season. Like, does he put up another first round worthy season next year? Yes. But I have a hard time seeing him putting up this top. I don't know. Is he going to be top 4? Is he going to be number 4? I don't know exactly.
Yeah, I would think so, but you never know. I do think like the thing that will be interesting to see is how pitching ADP changes because of the new run environment that makes pitching like less valuable, even though it affects everybody, but it's still like is raw points at the end of the day. So I think that'll be interesting to see come next season. And I think outfield scarcity, like the premium that you pay on outfielder, is going to be here to stay. Some of these infielders, though, I do wonder like where their prices will go. Like Bobby Wood Jr., for example. I wonder how high he goes next year. I feel like he's going to be a 1-2 turn guy.
Oh, interesting. I feel like he's gone kind of under the radar.
He has, but I mean, come next draft season, I don't know that'll stay. I mean, when you do what he's done this year. All
right, we're getting crazy here. We're going with the Toronto wins the World Series based off their Gausman, Bassett, Berrios trio.
I kind of like just building out one team's rotation. It takes a bit of a sun run on all cylinders to get there. So
yeah, I like all 3 of those guys individually in this contest. Just fine if you're playing a Toronto World Series team.
I think I'm going to go with a 5-pitcher team, by the way.
Yeah, I'm definitely 5 here based on the star power I have in the other spot. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting so excited for next year already.
I know. I kind of was a little bummed that I didn't have any like good sweats in the finals and didn't make the Dinger finals at all or anything. So I was a little bummed out. But man, who the hell am I kidding? Thinking that I'm not going to draft my ass off next year. Like, are you like I need to get real. Like, I'm gonna be in there. It's gonna be so much fun to talk about. But are you I don't know how much you like. I adhered to ADP a little. I would say a decent amount last year. Like, I definitely respected the market. I'm kind of like coming. I want to maybe not do that.
Okay.
I think I want to kind of do my own thing a little bit more next year. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's super interesting because you're going to be like, you're going to simultaneously be going against your brain, but going with your brain
In what way would you
I mean,
think?
most people would say gut, I guess, for the ADP, and you're going to be going with your brain on who you think the values are.
Yeah, I mean that's the tough part is like, you kind of have to act like you can see the future a little bit, I guess, but I don't know, man. Just seeing it, and it's early in the NFL season, but
Yeah.
it just seems like 3 weeks into every like best ball season, we're like, God, I don't know. Like, I just feel like it's not ADP isn't as sharp as I really thought it was every time the season kicks off. Like we're wrong about a lot of things.
Yeah. So definitely, like, just look at the random Reds players that were valuable this season.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Nobody
mean, I
had
mean,
any thought of.
borderline impossible to see coming, but
Right. And you lose out on those things when you start looking at the finals teams, because some of those guys were like so underdrafted that just by amount of times they drafted, they're not going to show up in the finals very often. And maybe they didn't contribute this year in the finals, but the fact that there's these guys that did contribute during the season that we missed out on, or we were on, if if you were on some of the secondary Reds guys this year outside of Jonathan India, like, you could have got good in season stuff from them.
right.
Yeah, and even being on the wrong guys, the guys that you thought would contribute.
Yeah, like, and even like Fradel and Fraley had their moments, but they didn't. They were not. They were not really. Yeah. Like Brad said too.
Yeah. So
But they
maybe
were
that's a bad
meaningless toward the
example,
end.
but
Well, I think looking at finals teams can definitely like skew you in the wrong direction too. I mean, I guess like structurally, maybe you can take something away from the finals, but once the playoffs start, it's just like who's the healthiest a little bit, like who's got health and like or whose studs are healthy and who's running hot. It's so variant. Ooh, that's a good question.
that's another good one.
I think I mean, super high. Obviously, I would
Outfield,
say
yeah.
like 63. Maybe that's too low.
All right, I can see that.
Maybe that's actually probably way too low. Like what's going to change? Like the Braves are still going to be nuts, and Ozuna's still going to be in the middle of that order.
I feel like he did it quiet enough. Like, nobody is really talking about it. Like I think there's still more people talking about Michael Harris sort of contributing than, because everybody wants to hate on him for the right reason.
I know. I've cooled off.
Oh no, I'm saying Ozuna as a person.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
There's enough like secondary reasons to hate.
That plays a part in the market, right? It definitely does. Like, I think you could probably factor in like maybe like 5 to 10 picks of discount based on the fact that nobody likes Ozuna.
Yeah, I mean, we gave like 5 rounds to Lars Nootbaar because we loved him for playing for Japan and his name being Lars Nootbaar.
and he projected well. He was a projections darling. We got over our skis on that one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Rip Sewell jumping in here. He and I are part of the biggest supporter, the Corey Seager fan club.
Hey, okay. Corey Seager is going to be a first round pick next year.
Oh yeah, he was my hot take MVP pick at the beginning of the season. I'm happy that worked out.
It did, yeah. I mean, because he's just awesome.
He missed time, but if he didn't,
he
would have been right up there.
Oh yeah, if he didn't miss any time, it would be a big debate because obviously, like with Ohtani missing the end of the season, I still don't think he would get it, but
yeah,
it would have been a major debate because he was awesome.
Yeah, and like I was last year, I made it known I was Ohtani over Judge for even what Judge did. So
I mean, that's totally fair. I mean, Ohtani, every year that Ohtani plays 100 games, like he should probably be the MVP.
Absolutely, yeah. All right, did you want to check out that team real quick? before we head out here. So yeah, this like I probably held off on taking Atlanta pitchers longer than I should. I probably should have taken Fried here. But this is the perfect example of why I never feel good. Well, it's only my second one, but I don't feel good about an Atlanta team. Like, I don't know how to put together their rotation. Like, somebody took Bryce Elder here as a solo guy. And, well, they took Charlie Morton. And, well, actually, I take it all back. This is the problem. Was the JMC 58.
He took 2 detours,
2 Atlanta pitcher detours.
And they were, one was right in front of you and one was right after you. But this one was actually a decent room to be building Atlanta because it was only you and Lowman. When typically, like you said, it's almost always you and 2 other people, not just you and one. But in this one, it was technically 3 because when you take Morton and Elder, that's a problem. Morton will be interesting. I know we're getting ready to wrap up here, but Morton will be interesting because I don't think I thought I saw that he can't return until after when I don't know when he's able to return.
Yeah, I think till the championship.
Wow, but God, could you imagine? Like, he just feels like a skeleton. He just feels like the guy that you're gonna need just because of that, almost, you know.
Yeah, I've been previously on the record with my Morton hate, which was unfounded a few years ago. But
have you repented?
Not publicly. I won't.
Good.
But I did draft him this year, and I did play him in DFS occasionally, and so I changed my mind. I just haven't admitted it yet, or maybe I just did. I don't know. But yeah, I got Atlanta, Toronto. I ended up taking Zach Gallen, and I ended up taking Kyle Wright as the last pick, just as a Hail Mary. Maybe maybe Charlie Morton doesn't get back and they don't want to start Bryce Elder. I don't know. Just he starts in the World Series or
it's playoff baseball.
Yeah. And you got a nice Phillies. You got the beautiful Philly stack right there.
I did. I got pretty fortunate.
Yeah, this feels so good.
I'm the only one who took Phillies this draft.
Oh, okay. And then you got the Rushman, Santander. Oh yeah, that's a great team.
This is what's nice. Whenever you actually are drafting with Brad and Chip, and people that kind of mind their business, it's very nice. So yeah, this is the ideal Phillies Baltimore stack for sure. This is, and I'm not the only one that's gotten this, obviously, but it feels so nice when you get it.
Yes. You will be sending that screenshot when that World Series matchup is out.
Oh God, I hope. I would love to get in the finals.
Yeah. Our buddy Brad gets a nice Dodgers Minnesota combo. Ooh, Willie Castro. He's got to be drafted in 100 drafts out of how many?
I've got one. One.
Okay. All right.
Part of my mix here, but man, yeah, he got the Mookie, Freddie, Kershaw, and Bobby. Ooh, God, that's so nice.
And Muncy, Martinez, and Will Smith way down here. So he's got this awesome Dodger stack.
That's so sick.
This team doesn't need Minnesota to go. Well, let's see the pitching.
It might not, right? Could he fill out a starting lineup?
He's needs one more pitcher.
Okay.
In the Dodgers, but yeah, that's a great team. And then Gypsy gets his Tampa, Milwaukee stack. Gotta love that.
Yeah, it's fire.
That's a great pitching combo. Two wild card teams with those pitchers. Yeah.
Yeah, I love doing 5 pitcher when I do Milwaukee because I just want all 3 of those guys, right? Getting Freddie on there as your caboose feels great.
Yeah. All right. Well, I didn't even get any of the structured questions or anything that I wanted to talk about there. We just had some fun. We drafted some teams. This contest closes Tuesday morning, noon, whatever time zone you're in. I don't know. I don't care either. But yeah, I think we're gonna get close to filling this, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
And I always love having you on, buddy.
Thanks, dude. I love being on here. Football has kind of been a distraction, of course. But
yeah,
baseball.
That's where the money is. So
I know, right? That's so I'm chasing it, but baseball always lives near and dear to my heart, and I always forget until this playoff contest comes around how much I enjoy drafting baseball and baseball contests. So let's run good. Let's have some fun, and hopefully we have a nice, fun postseason. And I appreciate you having me on as always, dude.
Yes, and I appreciate everybody showing up. I have no idea exactly what the plan is from now until next season. I do know that you should go to stackingdingers.com as we get that stuff solidified. And it's going to be awesome next year. Hopefully we'll get some stuff out there to help everybody and not hurt ourselves too much. So everybody go draft some playoff teams and enjoy October.
Yeah. See everybody.